He tried to teleport away from the most feared demon lord in the sea.
Oh man, this scene.
Right. It didn't work. She just floated closer with his smile and said, "Well, hello, little fish."
That line literally gives me chills every time.
Seriously. But don't worry about the context just yet. I want you to just sit with that feeling for a second.
Yeah, just imagine it.
Imagine you spent the last 6 months of your life knowing you have an endless bank account. Like a solution to literally every single problem.
That you're untouchable.
Exactly. And suddenly you walk into a room, the door's locked behind you, and an entity smiles and tells you that money no longer exists.
It is absolute suffocating dread.
It really is. It's the feeling of being completely trapped by the single most dangerous encounter in the story so far.
It completely shatters the illusion of safety we've built up alongside the protagonist.
Yeah.
Up until this exact moment, there has always been an out, a hidden skill, an overwhelming burst of energy, a spatial jump.
Always something in his back pocket.
Exactly. And taking that away doesn't just raise the stakes. It changes the entire genre of the story from an action fantasy into a survival horror.
It totally does. Well, welcome to another DeepLore deep dive. Today we are unpacking chapters 165 through 174 of Infinite Mana in the Apocalypse.
Some of the best chapters yet, honestly.
Without a doubt. And our mission for this deep dive is exploring that exact terrifying pivot. The moment Noah goes from being the untouchable apex predator to, the prey.
Yeah, it's a rough transition for him.
We're going to frame this whole discussion around one central question. What happens when a fighter who relies entirely on raw, infinite power finally meets an enemy who wields conceptual law?
Oh, that is the perfect way to phrase it.
Right. We're looking at his desperate gamble to survive, the mechanics behind his impossible escape, and the horrifying escalation of the war for Atlantis.
It is a brilliant tonal shift for the narrative because, let's be honest here, we've gotten very used to Noah effortlessly outscaling his opponents.
Oh, for sure. He walks into a room, drops a few overloaded skills, and just walks out victorious.
Right, but raw stats have a ceiling. This sudden, crushing powerlessness. It forces us to fundamentally rethink the rules of engagement in this universe.
So let's set the stage by looking at the towering heights Noah is falling from. Because the surface world is actually experiencing this massive, unprecedented victory right before it all goes wrong.
The contrast is so jarring.
It really is. Two worlds are literally connecting. The dimensional gates have fully opened between Earth and the Beast world.
Finally.
Yeah. We see Kazuhiko and Steel Mikhail stepping through the portal as the official representatives of humanity.
Right.
And waiting for them on the other side is Queen Adelaide herself. It's this triumphant, sweeping, diplomatic milestone.
Which serves a very specific narrative purpose.
How so?
Well, it establishes the immense weight of what Noah has to lose.
Yeah.
He isn't just fighting for his own personal survival anymore. He is, he's the linchpin protecting this incredibly fragile new alliance.
Does that make total sense?
Yeah, the connection of Earth and the Beast world means shared resources, shared defensive systems, cultural exchange, but it also means they now share the massive targets on each other's backs.
Right, so if Noah falls, the shield protecting two interconnected planets just shatters.
Exactly. The stakes have literally never been higher.
Meanwhile, completely unaware of the doom approaching him, Noah is down in the depths of Atlantis meeting Ocean Master Zeon.
Good old Zeon.
Right. And this interaction gives us a stark reality check on the power scaling of this universe. Zeon isn't just a mythical being, he is phantasmal rank.
Which is huge.
Yeah, it's a whole tier above mythical, and it's our first real look at what that actually means.
We need to define what phantasmal represents in this lore, actually, because it's not just a bigger number on a stat sheet,
Right, it's a fundamental shift.
Yeah. Mythical beings are essentially forces of nature. They are walking natural disasters, like hurricanes and earthquakes given form.
Okay.
But phantasmal beings, they are the localized gods that those natural disasters pray to.
Oh, wow. That is terrifying.
They don't just manipulate the elements, they begin to dictate the rules of reality within their domain.
And yet Zeon is surprisingly welcoming for a localized god.
He really is.
He pulls back the curtain on the entire history of Atlantis, revealing that they haven't just been hiding in the ocean. They've been actively fighting off demon world incursions and cultivator invasions for ages.
Yeah, they've been busy.
Very busy. They've been using this massive piece of technology called a world engine to mask their planetary signature.
Which is such a cool sci-fi element to drop into a fantasy setting.
I know, right? And then he officially crowns Noah a seeker of Atlantis, hands him a literal plasma gun and a golden battle suit, and sends him on his way.
So Noah's feeling completely untouchable at this point.
Oh, 100%. He heads out alone to the Abyssal Zone to farm epic and legendary creatures. He is completely in his element.
The author is totally baiting the trap here.
Oh, setting him up for a massive fall.
Exactly. Noah is operating under the deeply flawed assumption that his infinite mana and his stacked combination of skills make him a universal constant.
He thinks he's the biggest fish in the pond.
Right. But then the pond dries up.
Literally. So he is deep in the Abyssal Zone. It's pitch black, crushing pressure all around. Suddenly, his crisis avoidance skill starts screaming.
Oh, man.
And not just a warning ping, it's like a blaring air raid siren in his mind, louder than it ever has in the entire series.
Which is saying something.
Right. He immediately tries to use his spatial travel unique skill to blink out of the zone. This is the skill he stole from Aureus that lets him cross literal worlds.
His get out of jail free card.
Exactly. And it fails. Nothing happens. He is completely, utterly locked down in space.
Because spatial travel requires a pathway to travel through, right?
Right.
When you encounter an entity of a certain conceptual weight, their mere presence warps and locks the space around them.
That is so intense.
Yeah, the pathway isn't blocked. It literally no longer exists. He hasn't stumbled into a random monster nest. He has been hunted down by Barbatos, the 7th-ranked demon lord.
The necromancer of chaos herself.
Exactly.
And she doesn't even bother attacking him directly at first. She activates this ability called Death's Domain.
Just a casual flex.
Totally casual. The ocean around him instantly transforms into this sluggish, burning field. It's not just hot water. The text describes it as if the environment itself is dying, leeching his stamina.
So creepy.
And then, Barbatos casually summons 21 mythical undead creatures just to, quote, see what he's got.
As you.
Right. And included in that nightmare lineup is a horrific, rotting megalodon corpse puppet that just surges at him.
Notice the sheer casualness of her overwhelming power here.
She's not even trying.
No, she isn't struggling, and she certainly isn't fighting optimally. She's putting on a theatrical show.
Yeah, it feels very performative.
Because Death's Domain isn't just a physical trap, it is an instrument of psychological warfare. It inflicts this constant draining pain meant to erode the mind before it destroys the body.
It's like you are an undefeated heavyweight boxer, and you step into the ring only to realize your opponent is gravity itself.
That's a great way to put it.
You can't punch gravity. But I have to ask, why the theatrics?
What do you mean?
Well, if Barbatos is the 7th-ranked demon lord, and she is a phantasmal entity who could blink him out of existence, why play with her food? Is this arrogance, or is it a tactic?
You have to look at the psychological profile of an immortal demon surrounded only by the rotting dead.
Okay, fair point.
Barbatos has existed at this apex of power for centuries. Profound boredom and sadism are her defining traits.
So she's just bored out of her mind.
Exactly. Genuine amusement is the rarest commodity in her existence. She doesn't just want to kill Noah. She wants to watch a creature that thought it was a predator realize it's a mouse in a maze.
Wow. That is dark.
Demons in this lore feed conceptually on despair. Instant death doesn't generate despair. False hope, slowly and methodically crushed, that produces the richest despair.
Man, that perfectly explains the absolute horror of Noah's frantic escape attempt. Because he realizes instantly that fighting back is impossible.
He has zero offensive options.
None. He needs absolute defense.
Let's hope.
So mid-fight, while literally dodging a rotting megalodon, he anchors his miniaturized frozen plateau spiritual land directly beneath himself.
Which is such a smart move under pressure.
Yeah, he drags his body out of the crushing ocean and into the skies of his own pocket dimension and slams down his ultimate defensive skill, the frozen barrier.
And mechanically, the frozen barrier is a brilliant piece of magical engineering.
It is, yeah.
It is designed to offer absolute impenetrable defense for exactly 1 minute.
Right, but there's a flaw.
A massive one. The physics of the barrier are only rated to absorb attacks from legendary entities or below.
And Barbatos is phantasmal. So she decides she's bored of watching the megalodon play fetch. She raises her hand and starts hurling literal miniature suns at the shield.
Miniature suns, it's just absurd.
Right, this is her unique skill, Hellish Enforcer. And the text is so vivid here. The ocean water around the barrier doesn't just boil, it instantly vaporizes into nothingness.
And this collision is where we see the absolute limit of Noah's infinite mana hack.
Because the math just doesn't work out.
Exactly. When a phantasmal conceptual attack strikes a barrier rated for legendary force, the barrier's energy battery should instantly shatter. The conceptual weight is simply too high.
So why doesn't it?
The only reason the glass doesn't break on a first impact is because Noah is acting as a limitless generator.
Right. It's like trying to cool down a roaring blast furnace by throwing ice cubes at it.
Yeah!
The ice isn't actually stopping the heat. Noah's just throwing mana so fast, rebuilding the cracked frame of the shield microsecond by microsecond, that the furnace hasn't melted him yet.
But it's a battle of pure attrition.
And we get this agonizing countdown in the text. 50 seconds. 30 seconds. 10 seconds left on the barrier's absolute limit.
The blast furnace is winning.
He cannot survive this.
He is cornered by a being that fears absolutely nothing in the physical universe.
Well, almost nothing.
Right. Nothing except for one singular entity, the oppressive tyrant, Baal. The first-ranked demon lord.
Wait, pause for a second. The ocean is literally boiling away. He's got a countdown timer of 10 seconds before he is vaporized.
Yeah, it's tense.
He is in a blind animal panic. There is absolutely no way he just strokes his chin and organically connects "my shield is melting" to "I should exploit her centuries-old trauma regarding her boss."
Oh, absolutely not.
How does he pull that rabbit out of the hat when he can barely think? Is that just plot armor?
No, actually. Because he didn't have to deduce it in the moment. This is where Noah's preparation actually saves him, not his mana pool.
Wait, what did he prepare?
Remember back when he was fighting her undead minions? He used a skill called Memory Plunderer on a mythical skeleton warrior he shattered. Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, he didn't just absorb his combat skills. He absorbed hundreds of years of its lived memories.
Wow.
And that specific skeleton was Barbatos' confidant. She vented to it for centuries. Noah essentially downloaded her entire psychological profile into his brain.
That is insane.
Right. He felt her deep-seated hatred for Baal and her suffocating feeling of being trapped by him for over 400 years. He didn't guess her trauma, he read her diary.
And that stolen knowledge becomes the foundation for the most insane gamble of the series.
It really is a massive gamble.
With the shield failing and the 10-second timer up, Noah drops the physical defense completely.
Just lets it go.
He pivots entirely to psychological manipulation. He stands face to face with this terrifying demon empress who is holding a miniature sun and lies with absolute conviction.
That takes so much nerve.
Right. He claims to be a disciple of the Celestials.
And the Celestials are a brilliant lore drop here.
Yeah, they've only been briefly mentioned in those stolen memories, right? Exactly. If the demon world represents chaos, conquest, and the breaking of rules, the Celestials represent absolute order and cosmic balance.
Like the polar opposites.
Yeah. They operate in the shadows of the universe, and even the top demon lords are terrified of crossing them because they are an unknown, overwhelmingly powerful variable that enforces cosmic law.
So Noah looks her in the eye and says he's on a covert mission from the Celestials to steal the Trident of Neptune right from under Baal's nose.
Such a bold lie.
And to sell a lie this massive, he weaponizes the knowledge he just stole. He recites her exact, unique, and ultimate skills out loud to her.
Which should be impossible for him to know.
Exactly. He names Death's Domain, Hellish Enforcer, and her most guarded ultimate ability, Dance of Life and Death.
Think about the logic from Barbatos' perspective here.
Okay, put me in her shoes.
She is a localized god. A mere mythical Atlantean could not possibly perceive, let alone name, her ultimate conceptual skills. It literally violates the rules of reality.
Right, it doesn't make any sense.
Therefore, the only logical explanation in her mind is that his claim must be true. He must be backed by an omniscient, godlike organization. The lie becomes the undeniable truth because the evidence is too perfectly tailored.
Man, he is playing the highest stakes poker game imaginable with a completely empty hand.
Completely empty.
He's only using his knowledge of her, tells, to force a fold, and it works. He offers her the one thing she's secretly craved for 437 years.
Baal's permanent death.
Yes, Baal's permanent death with his demonic resurrection completely blocked.
Which is another massive bluff, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
Because the demon lords are tied to the concept of the demon world itself. They are resurrected by its will. But Noah confidently promises he possesses the celestial tools to sever that connection and prevent the resurrection.
And they agree to bind this treasonous pact with an Abyss magic contract.
Which is no joke.
No, we have to talk about how Abyss magic works conceptually. It's not just a promise, it's a cosmic binding written in blood on a golden page. And the terms they lay out are wild. Noah's condition is simple. She has to help him, and she cannot destroy him or his belongings.
Pretty standard survival terms.
Right. But her restriction, if she breaks the contract, she automatically releases every single undead soul she's collected over centuries.
That is the equivalent of destroying her entire life's work and stripping her of her vast power base in a single second.
So a catastrophic penalty for her.
Massive.
And her terms for him. Noah has to permanently kill Baal in exactly 2 months.
A seemingly impossible task.
And if he fails, the contract dictates he loses his manhood and can never copulate again.
It is incredibly bizarre, yet it makes perfect sense for a sadistic, chaotic entity like Barbatos.
Yeah, she doesn't just want him dead.
Exactly. She doesn't want to just kill him if he fails. She wants to humiliate and demean him conceptually.
So they write this in their own blood, physically tear the golden page in half, and swallow the pieces. The cosmic binding is complete.
Done too.
But look at what Noah just did. Did he just trade an immediate execution for a delayed one? I mean, he signed a blood contract to kill the most powerful entity in the demon world, a being he knows absolutely nothing about, and he has to do it in 60 days. Isn't he just cornering himself?
On paper, yeah, it looks like a delayed suicide.
Right.
But you have to view this through the lens of Noah's exponential growth trajectory.
Okay, true. He levels up fast.
Exactly. A delayed execution is still time on the clock. Noah went from an ordinary human to a mythical tier powerhouse in a matter of months.
Yeah, his pacing is insane.
60 days for someone with his system is a lifetime of leveling up, absorbing beast cores, and combining skills. He is banking his entire existence and, well, his manhood on his own ability to break the scaling system of the universe.
Which catapults us into chapter 173 and the severe tonal whiplash that follows.
Oh, this chapter is wild.
The cosmic contract is signed, so Barbatos is now just tagging along.
Terrifying shadow.
She's floating around the ocean behind him, constantly prying into his life. She flips between this innocent-sounding, almost childlike curiosity and genuinely horrifying confessions.
It perfectly illustrates how utterly alienated a centuries-old phantasmal demon is from normal existence.
She has no social boundaries.
None. She will be casually chatting with him about what he's doing, and in the exact same breath, cheerfully mention how she recently ate a mythical Atlantean alive mid-torture because he wouldn't give up the Trident's location.
Just totally unbothered.
To her, torture and casual conversation are the exact same social interaction.
It's like trying to defuse a bomb while it casually asks you about your childhood.
That's exactly what it's like.
And Noah actually brings her inside his spiritual land and cooks a mythical killer whale for her to eat.
Domesticated demon lord.
Right. Meanwhile, his summons, especially the Emperor Penguin, are vibrating with tension. They are ready to attack her on sight.
The Emperor Penguin is an incredibly perceptive creature. As an apex predator itself, it immediately recognizes that Barbatos is a true monster.
Yeah, no, she doesn't belong there.
The dynamic in that spiritual land is incredibly fragile. Noah is essentially babysitting a weapon of mass destruction who could mentally snap and ruin everything if she gets bored with the whale meat.
But while Noah is playing this dangerous game of house, the narrative shifts to show us exactly what he just promised to kill.
The real threat.
Out in the boiling ocean, Baal arrives, and he is confronted by a kaiju-class calamity named Molten Razor.
Such a cool name.
It really is. This thing is a massive, magma-dripping dinosaur dragon that rises straight out of an underwater volcano to challenge him. It is a true phantasmal versus phantasmal fight.
And the author places this encounter here entirely by design.
To show off Baal's power.
Yes. It is meant to ground the narrative in sheer existential terror, showing you the impossible wall Noah has to climb in 2 months. And the terrifying part, against a world-ending calamity, Baal doesn't even look stressed.
Not even a little bit. The fight lasts an hour. Just 1 hour.
Rarely a warm-up.
Baal calmly dismantles this kaiju using 2 unique skills. Space destruction, which literally cracks the conceptual fabric of reality to shatter the kaiju's magma bones.
Insane.
And parallel thought, allowing him to perfectly analyze, dodge, and attack simultaneously without breaking a single sweat.
But the real horror is how the fight ends.
Right, the finisher.
Baal doesn't just kill the Molten Razor, he casts his ultimate skill, gluttony. one of the 7 deadly sins.
He covers this 30-meter-tall magma kaiju in dark, suffocating smoke, and he devours its entire origin.
He eats its very existence.
And he lets out a light burp afterward. Before the kaiju fully fades into nothingness, Baal uses its last breath to broadcast an ultimatum across the entire ocean to the city of Atlantis.
The message is just chillin'.
Yeah, he announces that he is done searching the ocean floor, hand over the trident of Neptune, or face total annihilation.
He's not playing games anymore.
He is marching his demonic forces straight for the hidden city. But we need to dissect this mechanic. Baal just casually dismantled a world-protecting calamity. Right. We've seen Noah rely on his near-infinite mana to survive everything so far. But how does an endless gas tank even compare to an ultimate skill like gluttony that literally eats the origin of a being? Are we finally seeing the hard limits of Noah's infinite mana system?
Absolutely. This is the core thesis of this entire arc.
Okay, unpack that for me.
Infinite mana is raw fuel. It allows Noah to spam physical and magical skills endlessly. But gluttony isn't just a really big mouth, it's a conceptual law.
Right, they operate on different planes.
Think of infinite mana as having an endless amount of water to pour out.
Okay.
Gluttony doesn't drink the water. Gluttony eats the concept of the pitcher holding the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if gluttony touches you, it erases the fundamental anchor of your existence, your origin. It doesn't matter how much fuel is in your engine if the engine itself is unwritten from reality.
So Noah cannot beat Baal in a battle of raw energy.
Not a chance. To win, he has to acquire conceptual skills of his own or find a way to break the law of gluttony itself.
Man, that is a tall order for 60 days. Let's transition into our theory corner and weave all these massive implications together.
Let's do it.
We have 4 major lingering mysteries that are going to define the next 2 months of Noah's life. First up, Barbatos agreed to betray Baal in exchange for his death. Is this a genuine alliance, or is she playing Noah the exact same way he played her?
Oh, she is absolutely hedging her bets here.
I think so.
Oh, without a doubt. Barbatos has no loyalty, only self-interest. If Noah miraculously wins, she gets her freedom from Baal.
That's true.
If Noah loses and gets devoured by gluttony, she can simply claim to Baal that she was leading this dangerous rogue element straight to him for execution. It's a win-win for her.
It is so devious.
Yeah.
Second point. We just established that raw stats can't beat conceptual law. So what does Noah actually need to acquire or level up to defeat Baal in just 2 months?
Well, he needs ultimate skills that govern reality.
He's going to need more than just stats.
Exactly. He needs to upgrade his spiritual land to a point where it can rewrite the conceptual rules around Baal. Or he needs to find the trident of Neptune first and use its ancient, localized god-tier power to match Baal's gluttony.
That makes sense. Point 3. The Celestials are barely mentioned, but clearly feared, even by top demon lords. Who are they, really?
If the demon lords are the ultimate expression of chaos and destruction, the Celestials are likely the universe's immune system.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, they are cosmic enforcers. The fact that Barbatos backed down purely on their name suggests that their power isn't just phantasmal, it might be universal.
That is a massive lore implication. Finally, point 4. Baal is heading straight for Atlantis now. What happens to King Zan, Ula, and everyone Noah just met?
It doesn't look good for them.
Really?
Unless Atlantis reveals that their world engine can be used as an offensive conceptual weapon, they are completely outmatched. Their physical barriers will hold against the demon army for a bit, but against gluttony, it's going to be a massacre unless Noah intervenes.
So, when we step back and look at this entire sequence, from the trap in the Abyssal Zone to the blood contract, what is the core takeaway for you?
The core takeaway is that knowledge is the ultimate survival tool.
Yeah.
Noah didn't survive his encounter with Barbatos by overpowering her. In fact, his infinite mana completely failed him as a win condition.
The blast furnace was going to melt the ice.
Exactly. He survived because he weaponized stolen information. He used her own memories, her own traumas, and her own fears against her to construct a flawless lie.
He's brilliant.
Physical power has a ceiling, but the right piece of information applied at the exact right moment can manipulate gods and topple empires.
He survived the most dangerous being he's ever faced by lying his way into a contract with her. And now the most powerful demon lord in existence is marching directly toward the city he just became Sea King of. Drop your theories. That's DeepLore. See you in the next one.